welcome your Aurora University Spartans.
And it is a brand new season of Aurora University women's basketball. The home opener tonight between the Spartans and the Knox College Prairie Fire. We're so glad you're here on this Wednesday night. Once again, I'm Sean Fry, back for another year here covering Spartan basketball, and we're expecting a fun one between a couple of teams who had very different weekends to open up the season. We'll tell you all about that in just a moment. But our broadcast tonight and throughout the season is presented in part by BSN Sports. Wear what the Spartans wear. Visit athletics.aurora.edu/getAU gear. By Chick-fil-A in Oswego. Eat more chicken. By Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland. By Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus. By Raising Cane's in Oswego, One Love. And by Rush Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Aurora and Yorkville, Fox Valley's premier orthopedic care specialists. Aurora 2-0, Knox 0-2. How'd we get there? Aurora won the Webster Tip-Off Classic. Christina Manzanares, the reigning NAC Freshman of the Year, was the tournament MVP, averaging 19 a game and shooting 46% from the field. Aurora hammered Blackburn in the opener 105-48, then pounded host Webster 81-47. One note on that Blackburn win, Aurora put up 105 despite not scoring for the first 2 minutes and 19 seconds. They missed their first 7 shots on the season and then peeled off a massive run from that point, trailed for quite literally 2 minutes over 2 games. A very impressive start to the season for Aurora. Knox was in Wartburg, a very strong opening season tournament. Wartburg ranked 14th. They lost 81-64 to them, and then to Luther 86-81. Luther team that was very good, also out of the American Rivers Conference a year ago. Against Wartburg, Knox was actually leading after the first quarter, down 1 at halftime, and then outscored 23-5 in the third quarter. They never had the lead against Luther, but were competitive throughout, just saw a rally come up short, and so they dropped their first 2 games. But Knox has had the better of Aurora in recent years. They played the last couple of seasons, and Knox has won them both, including 85-77 last season. Aurora has won 9 of the 14 meetings overall, dating back to 1983. And they're going to try to put one in the win column tonight. It's game number 3 of the season for Aurora. It is home game number 1 of the season for the Spartans, and it is coming up. This is Aurora University women's basketball. Aurora and Knox getting set for Aurora's season opener. It's coming up in a matter of moments. There is action around the NAC tonight. including one game, make it 2 games actually, that are already underway, and one is rapidly approaching its conclusion. Let's start with the one that's winding down. It's not going well for Rockford. They're at Cornell, and they're midway through the third with the Rams leading 40-20. Also tonight, Lakeland is leading Dubuque at halftime, 34-29 in Plymouth. It's been a nice start for Alexis Johnson, who has 13 points and 4 steals at the break for Lakeland. As Lakeland looking to make it a 2-0 start on the season. Elsewhere tonight, MSOE home to Carthage. Concordia, Wisconsin is hosting UW Oshkosh, and Edgewood is at home against Ripon. Those are all 7 o'clock starts, so they'll get underway when we get underway. And the teams are headed to the benches, which means it is almost time to put the ball in the air. Dornan Gymnasium for the first time in women's basketball for the 2025-2026 season. Ryan Rebsim in year 8 with the Spartans, facing off with a first-year Knox head coach, but not a first-year coach overall. Emily Carpenter had been at UW Superior for 3 seasons prior to that. But she is here at Knox and looking to improve on last season's 15-10 mark. That itself was a year removed from their first and only trip to the NCAA tournament. We'll send it down to the public address. Director of Athletic Communications, Brian Kipley, doing the pregame announcements. National anthem on the way. Then we'll meet tonight's starting lineups. All right, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Prairie Fire. For Knox tonight, it's going to be the 5'10 sophomore from Tucson, Arizona, Nayeli Nidez Acuna. The 5'11 senior from Galesburg, Illinois, Carly Smith. The 5'9 sophomore from Wadsworth, Illinois, Izzy Robinson. A 5'8 senior from Tucson, Arizona, Kylie Callahan, and a 5'6 junior from Tucson, Bria Medina. Nidez Acuna, Smith, Robinson, Callahan, and Medina, the starters for Knox tonight. I mentioned Emily Carpenter is in year 1 with Knox, and they are going to introduce the lineups for Aurora here in just a matter of moments. Right here is the starting lineup for the Aurora University Spartans. Ryan Rebsum 106 wins here with the AU Women's Hoops program. It's the 5'7" senior from Orland Park, Illinois, Danielle Antoine. A 5'7" sophomore from Grand Junction, Colorado, Christina Manzanares. A fifth-year senior standing 5'6" from Rock Falls, Illinois, Kylie Fishback. A 5'9" junior from Oswego, Riley Doggett. And a 6-foot senior from Romeoville, Illinois, Alina Anderson. Antoine, Manzanares, Fishback, Doggett, and Anderson, the starting lineup tonight for Aurora. And the Spartans are 2-0. Knox is 0-2. Aurora will move left to right here across your screen in the first half, wearing white uniforms, blue numbers, blue trim, the AU logo on the front. Knox is going to be moving right to left. They're wearing a black uniform with gold numbers, and it reads Knox on the front of the jersey. Lights are up, and it's time for hoops. As Aurora trying to win its home opener and make it a 3-0 start to the season. First meeting between these teams I mentioned back in 1983, December 2nd to be specific. I was at the Monmouth tournament. Aurora won at 58-44. They played pretty consistently there for a while, but didn't play at all to begin the 2000s until a couple of seasons ago. This certainly looked like a very talented Aurora team here for their first couple of games, and we are excited to start a brand new season. Knox wins the tip, and we are off. Kylie Callahan, who had a day here a couple of seasons ago, has the ball, takes it to the block, puts up the jumper, it rattles and falls out. And Antoine has the rebound off the opening miss by Knox. Aurora quickly down the floor. Fishback wants the three from the wing. That hops off the iron. And both teams missed their first attempts and head back the other way. Here is Nidez Acuna as Aurora comes out looking at a man defense. Fishback picks up Callahan, who once again takes it to the block. The leaner goes off the window and out off of Anderson. We're in the opening minute of the first quarter. No score. 3 shot attempts between the two teams. Neither of them have gone in. There's the inbound from Robinson, who heaves it in to Callahan. She had 22 against Aurora last season, 31 her career high 2 years ago. Another miss for Knox. Anderson tracks down the rebound. Here goes Aurora in transition. Fishback tried to feed a cutting Manzanares on the baseline and turned it over. It's stolen by Bria Medina, who threw it up after colliding with Doggett. That doesn't go either. 1:05 in. No score. Antoine nearly lost the ball. Doggett hauled it in, leaning out over the Knox sideline. And now Aurora will settle in as they face Knox's man defense. It's to Doggett on the right wing. Inside, Anderson with the touch at the block. 7 to shoot. Manzanares for 3. No good. Rebound. Hops and caroms its way into the arms of Robinson. Still no score. 90 seconds in. Running the floor. And the finish for Medina, who had 25 against Aurora last season, is now just 34 points away from 1,000 for her career. She begins her 3rd season. 2-0 Knox, then Fishback called for a travel at the opposite wing. 8:11 left in quarter number 1. Both teams trying to find their shooting touch. Aurora averaging 93 points over 2 games. Have to think that they will find the bottom of the net here soon enough. Manzanares knocks the ball out of Robinson's hands. Inbound comes into Callahan in the corner. She goes baseline and is cut off there by Doggett. Tries a few times. Finds Nidez Acuna. Back inside and stolen. Fishback has it. She runs the floor in transition. Kicks it outside. Doggett for 3. Left it short. Callahan the rebound. Quickly ahead, Medina. 7:43 left here in the first. So Aurora's missed its first 3 shot attempts, and Medina will get to the line. First team all-conference in both her seasons. Medina to the stripe, as Anderson picks up the first foul tonight. Medina was second in the Midwest Conference at 18 points per game. also an 80% free throw shooter last year that was also second best. She knocks in the first one here. She came in on the season at the free throw line at 15 of 21, 71%. 3-0 Knox. Here's the second try for Medina. That's good, and it's 4-0 Spartans. Manzanares, Aurora's leading scorer last year at 13.5 points per game. Driving and lost the ball, but last touched by Nidez Acuna. So the sophomore out of Colorado trying to battle her way to the cup. 2.5 minutes into the first. Here's Manzanares. Thought about the three ball. Nearly lost the ball. Kicks it to Doggett instead. Riley can't get inside, but does draw the reach in from Medina. And that's Knox, his first foul tonight. Fishback will inbound it. There's Aurora down 4-0 here in the early portions of the first quarter. Manzanares is on the ball. Doggett near side, guarded by Nidez Acuna. Heaves it across the gym. Manzanares the extra pass. Fishback the ball fake, the drive, and knocks in the J from the block for the first points for Aurora at home this season. They set up full court pressure and now pull it off as Manzanares gets to Callahan. She runs on to Antoine. And now Robinson on the ball up top. Aurora with the man defense look yet again. Medina, the drive, and the foul. It was very close. Manzanares was signaling, thought the illegal dribble. Instead, Doggett picks up her first foul, and Callahan goes to the line. 13 points per game last season. Averaged 16 as a sophomore when she was a first-team all-conference pick, a freshman of the year. It's not a shooting foul. Manzanares gets to the line in play and travels, or rather Callahan travels, and Aurora has the ball. It's 4-2. This was not, I think, the start to the game I think most teams expected. Lower scoring than I think we both thought was going to happen here. Nidez Acuna is called for Knox's second foul, her first, on Aurora's baseline take. We have 6:34 left in the first. Manzanares tosses it into Anderson, hands it back off to Christina. Now Fishback finds Manzanares for the corner three, tumbles out. Anderson gets the offensive board. Antoine trying to spin to the rim, gets there and ties it up. So Anderson makes it happen with the offensive board, where Aurora was a top 25 team last year. Anton with the finish, 4 apiece. And then after breaking pressure, Medina is fouled by Fishback on the hip. That's Kylie's first, team's third. 6:09 left in the first. Inbound baseline to the left of the hoop as Robinson, the sophomore, will toss it in. Had a big finish to the Wartburg tournament with 15 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, all career highs. Callahan takes the cross-court pass and drills the three, makes it 7-4. Now 1,047 points for Callahan, 5th best all-time. She is Knox's career assists leader as well. 3 missed by Doggett, rebound out of bounds, and it will be Prairie Fire basketball. And we'll see Zaya Yarbrough check in for the visitors, replacing Smith at this stoppage. Nearing the midway point of the first. Antoine and Fishback, a bucket each for Aurora. Callahan 3, Medina with 4 for the Prairie Fire. Manzanares with the tip and the steal for Fishback. Out to Manzanares for the wide open 3, and it's short. Fishback wins the rebound on a tip. She gets into the lane and dishes. Here's Anderson. She'll try the corner 3. That doesn't go either. And it's tipped out to Robinson, 1-on-4, who had the ball tipped from her out of bounds by Antoine. Well, Aurora can't buy a 3 right now. Some substitutions for the first time for the Spartans. Doggett, Manzanares, and Anderson head off. Aurora Eklund, Elizabeth Griswold, and Courtney Shook have all entered for their first minutes at home this season. Eklund, a junior from Elko, Nevada, guarding the ball as it's dished away to Robinson on the wing. Aurora still with a man look. Yarbrough with the ball at the free throw line, finds Callahan, who tries to slip inside. Great look to Nidez Acuna under the basket all alone. And that'll get a timeout from Ryan Rebsam. It's a 30-second timeout. It'll become the media timeout. It's 9-4 Knox here in the opening frame. This is Aurora University women's basketball. Aurora trying to find a shooting touch right now. They're 2 of 10 from the floor and a bagel for 7 from outside. They have the ball out of the timeout. Shook, the junior from Milwaukee, running the point for the Spartans, this time up the floor. Fishback gathers the ball on the wing. A pick and roll with Griswold, who went to the floor with the ball. That was Yarbrough who was able to get on it, and it's a jump ball. So the possession arrow will go to Aurora, and they'll keep the ball. 4:47 left in the first, 9-4 Knox in front. Eklund will inbound. Finds Fishback in the high post. She faces up with Callahan, now back to the basket, tries the spin jumper, and it's good. No, Fishback makes it a one-possession game. Here is Medina, gets into the lane, kicks. Robinson decides against the three. Eklund tried to take a charge, didn't get the call, and then spun to the cup and gets the bucket and one. Well, Ryan Rebsam's not going to be real pleased with that, because not only did Eklund not get the call, but Fishback also picked up her second foul, and I mean, she'll likely be headed to the bench here shortly. Robinson just 3 of 8 from the line, misses the and one. Aurora doesn't secure the rebound cleanly. Nidez Acuna got to the ball, and Griswold with the rejection. Aurora the rebound, and Antoine slices the other way. She gets to the rim and will get a couple of shots. Foul is on Yarbrough, and that is Knox's third foul, Yarbrough's first. Aurora just took its 4th team foul, so Knox is in the penalty for the remainder of the quarter. Fishback goes off here with her couple of fouls and 4 points. Anderson replaces her, and Antoine knocks in the first free throw to make it 11-7. Antoine, a very good free throw shooter, 82% last season, 3 of 5 so far, 4 of 6 so far as she gets both and makes it a one-possession game yet again. Aurora picks up Knox full. The Prairie Fire handle it, and Smith took the nice dish from Callahan and missed at the rim. Aurora the other way. Antoine leaves it to Eklund. She'll feed Anderson on the wing, who decides against the three. It's back to Eklund up top. She stops in the high post. Antoine against the man defense. The crossover on Robinson, and the finish at the rim. Antoine with the handle and then a steal on the inbound. Shook took it away. Eklund for two. She's fouled. We'll have a chance to give Aurora its first lead tonight at the free throw line. That was Callahan giving Knox's fourth foul and final to give here in the quarter. It is the senior's first foul tonight. Eklund does not have a free throw attempt on the season. She was at 66% a year ago. First toss is good. Ryan Rebson was really pleased with how Eklund has developed into a complete player in her 2+ years in the program. Said she and Kylie Fishback are kind of the team's Swiss Army knives. They can really do anything, and that includes make free throws. As Eklund knocks in both, Aurora has the lead for the first time tonight. It's 12-11. Medina goes baseline. Didn't get it to the rim, but it's rescued by Smith and then out of bounds as Anderson was active on the ball, took it out of Callahan's hands. 19 to shoot. 3:27 left in the first. 12-11 Spartans were on a 6-0 run. A brief moment for Robinson to retie the laces. And it's into Medina. Saw Point Catholic High School alum, not the only one, so is Callahan. Robinson, handoff to Callahan up top. She'll dish it to Yarbrough at the wing. Yarbrough, the runner, no good. A rebound for Griswold. Spartans will try to extend their lead. Antoine up the middle of the floor. Drive to the rim was cut off. It's out up top for Anderson. Antoine again midway through the shot clock. Antoine drives again. Everything just opened up. And one of the easiest layups Antoine's going to have to make it 14-11. She has 8 points. A miss from Knox. Griswold the other way. And we'll get to the line as Callahan gives the foul. 8-0 run for Aurora. Antoine has been a spark plug for Aurora in this first quarter. And Griswold will get to the line for two after an Antoine make, a Knox miss, and a foul that'll send Callahan to the bench for the foreseeable future. More accurately, it was Griswold just taking it away from Yarbrough and getting to the line. Liz 1 for 2 on the season. This is her first attempt. It was a 60% free throw shooter a year ago. Griswold from right here in Aurora was very good at Parkview Christian over in Yorkville in her high school playing days. She'll miss both tosses this time. It stays a 3-point game. Knox hasn't scored for nearly 2 minutes. Medina beats Robinson in the corner. Aurora sticking with a man defense. They can switch liberally. Here's Medina for three. No good there. Rebound, Smith. And was fouled by Eklund, apparently. And that's the 5th team foul on Aurora, so it will put Smith on the line. First year on the Knox basketball team for Smith, who previously had been on their women's volleyball program. Played the middle. Made an immediate impact for Knox in her first appearance with 10 rebounds without scoring a point. Then 6 and 8 against Luther. Misses the first free throw. He's now 0 for 3 on the season. 14-11 Aurora with 2:21 to play in the first period. Smith misses both. It's an empty trip for the Prairie Fire. Manzanera is back in the game for Aurora with Shook, Griswold, Anderson, and Eklund. Manzanares takes the ball on the right wing, tries to get to the rim, stops at the block, tries to fall away and gets it. Oh, tough shot for her first points tonight. Aurora now with 10 straight. Long stretch pass down the floor to Nadez Acuna, who was blocked at the rim by Anderson. Griswold takes the loose ball. And Aurora back into its offense. Manzanares gets a pick, kicks to Anderson. She'll try the three. That's off the line. Aurora still looking for their first three. They're 0 for 8. have a 10-0 run all the same. Final 90 seconds of the first. And here's Medina, stops at the line, tries the up and under, and stops the bleeding for Knox. 6 for Medina. 16-13. 1:10 to play in the first. Eklund's in the lane. She'll move to her right and gets it to die off the iron and in. A clever 10-foot shot for Eklund. Restores the Aurora lead to 5 as we're in the final minute of the first. Driving Medina, tough finish from in tight. Medina is tough to deal with for Knox, as we've seen last couple of years. Eklund in the high post, sends it out to Manzanares. 15 to shoot as she walks it out near the timeline. Aurora with 4 along the baseline. Anderson goes to set a screen. Manzanares takes it, looks for help, puts it up, doesn't get the iron. Rebound for Nidez Acuna. 15 seconds. Knox a chance to tie if they can get 3 or at least cut it to a point. Medina with 7, works to the wing, sizes up Eklund, tries the up and under, high off the window, no good. Rebound won't be secured, and we'll go to the second quarter with Aurora in front. 18-15, Spartans in the lead through 10 minutes here at Thornton. This is Aurora University women's basketball. Tonight's broadcast of Aurora University women's basketball is presented in part by BSN Sports, by Chick-fil-A in Oswego, by Kaufman GMC in Aurora, by Elite Management Properties, Raising Cane's in Oswego, and Rush Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Aurora and Yorkville. Aurora 7 of 17 in the first. Knox 6 of 17 from the floor. Knox says the game's only 3. Aurora was 0 for 8. Been a pretty even game, but Aurora with a 10-0 run right now, the difference. Danny Antoine leading all players with 8 points. Medina tied for that mark for Knox. Prairie Fire with the basketball to begin the second quarter. Aurora setting up a zone look at a turnover. Doggett heads the other way, kicks to Manzanares. She'll find Antoine and to Doggett for the corner 3. Nothing. Aurora just can't get one right now, but Knox just tossed the rebound out of bounds. Aurora with Eklund, Antoine, Doggett, Anderson, and Manzanares. Fishback on the bench with a couple of fouls. Knox for the moment going with Medina, Yarbrough, Robinson-Smith, and Nidez Acuna. Manzanares with a 3. It was halfway down, didn't go. Another offensive board, Aurora. Anderson wants the baseline jumper. The mid-range won't go either. Well, the iron unkind on the east end of Thornton Gymnasium right now. Opening minute nearly gone, still a 3-point game. Robinson called for the push. So Robinson picks up her first foul. First foul of the quarter. Now there's an art to getting away with the push-off, and the full extension on the forearm is not it. So Aurora takes the basketball. Eklund subs out. Fishback back in for a couple of fouls and gets a pass from a clever touch from Anderson and one. Talk about an immediate impact for Fishback right into the game. Slices down the edge of the lane. Anderson put the pass right on her. Tough finish and one. Led the NAC in free throw shooting as a sophomore at 96%. She's an 80% free throw shooter all time. And up to that mark on the season now after converting the and one. Aurora by 2 full possessions after the Nidez Acuna foul in the and one. Doggett called for the foul after Knox able to loft the pass over the press down to Nidez Acuna under the rim. And that is Riley's second foul and Aurora's first of the quarter. Putting the sophomore on the line, 1 of 3 on this rather small Knox roster from the desert, from Tucson specifically. He's now 9 of 13 on the season after converting first attempt. Went to Sunnyside High School. Outstanding rebounder a year ago. With some offensive upside and off to a really nice start this season. She'll get both to make it 21-17. 8:37 left in the half. Antoine explodes to the rim. Had a look at the cup but decided to pass it away. She'll get the ball out on the left wing and will try the three. That was glass and no rim on the way down as Aurora has missed its first 11 attempts from 3. Antoine a steal at the timeline. 1-on-2, the spin move and draws the foul. Well, Coach Rebsam has called Antoine the heart and soul of the defense, and you see why. 8 points. A couple of steals already. She'll go to the line. Looks like Callahan will re-enter the game for Knox and send Yarbrough to the bench. Yarbrough had just picked up her second foul. Jennifer Heinberg into the game for Aurora. She'll replace Doggett as Antoine tees up the first free throw and doesn't go. 8:18 left in the second, 21-17 Spartans. Second toss, that will do it. And 9 for Danny, who's just 5 off her career high with a little less than a half hour to go. Aurora with a 2-2-1 look at midcourt. And Nidez Acuna just threw it away. It's into the arms of Heinberg. Aurora has now forced 8 Knox turnovers. Antoine, the driving kick. Heinberg for 3. Finally, Aurora gets one on their 12th attempt. The sophomore at Parkland, Heinberg hit from 43% from 3. She makes it 25-17. Medina breaks free of the press, gets to the rim, and is fouled by Fishback, who can't believe it. She puts her hands over her mouth. That's her 3rd foul, which means we've probably seen Kylie for the last time before halftime. Eklund will check in for her as Fishback, with perhaps a smirk of disbelief, heads to the bench. Look, this is what Bria Medina does. She was 9th in the nation last year in free throw makes and 14th in attempts. She was 148 of 186 last year. And a very good free throw shooter, but she misses the first, makes the first here. And then gets the second for good measure. And getting to the line is an art form. It's not just about being fast to the rim. It's about drawing contact and getting that call. And she's one of the best at it. Heinberg, quick release 3 after the handoff didn't go. Then a steal. Anderson with the takeaway and the easy finish. It's 27-19. A heave across the timeline on the inbound, and Knox gave it away again. The pass was tipped. Eklund picks it up. Aurora in transition, 4-on-2. What a play, Callahan for the steal. Nidez Acuna all alone at the other end for the layup. Knox will take timeout. Despite the steal, Emily Carpenter perhaps not real pleased with how things are going. She'll take a 30-second timeout, and it'll become the media timeout here in the second quarter. 7:02 left before halftime. Aurora's up 27-21. This is Aurora University women's basketball. Well, Aurora with a 27-21 lead despite going 1 of 13 from 3. They have turned over Knox 10 times in 13 minutes. And Aurora's been off to a very nice start. They came in having forced 68 turnovers. That was the third most in the nation and 7th on a per-game basis. Their turnover margin was in the top 10 in the country as well. Again, a small sample size, but it's real. You can see it on display in this game. Aurora is going to create a lot of headaches for opponents defensively. Out of the timeout, Anderson for 3. From straight away. Out of bounds off of Knox. Off of Aurora. You couldn't tell by my voice. 30-21 Aurora. The full court pressure has bothered the Prairie Fire. There's Robinson on the drive, and the floater goes. Tough finish from the edge of the lane. 6:28 left in the first. Manzanares, Antoine Shook, Anderson, and Jessica Oman on the floor for her first minutes. Anderson a miss in tight, gets her own rebound, and it's tied up. Aurora has the possession arrow and will inbound it on the baseline. Manzanares waiting to throw the ball in. It's into Anderson on the wing. Short pass to Antoine. Anderson again in the corner. Kicks it up top. Quick 3, Oman. Not find the rim. Smith the rebound. Smith, Callahan, Robinson, Nidez Acuna, Medina, the 5 on the floor for Knox. A pass inside, tipped out of bounds. Prairie Fire will keep it. Nearing the midway point of the second. Aurora by 7. Robinson gets it in, and here's Callahan. Medina rips a pass across the gym. Nidez Acuna tried a really tough leaner in the lane, and it didn't go. Aurora in transition. Shook finds Manzanares. The step around in the reverse. Oh, goodness, what a play. And Aurora by 9. Robinson at the other end for Knox. Manzanares picks up the ball. Callahan trying to get downhill. She was cut off. Robinson does the same and is fouled on the runner. 3 team fouls each way now after the foul on Oman. I think I said Shook on the floor. It was Heinberg when I was resetting that lineup, and Heinberg with the dime down the sideline to Manzanares with the nifty step over and the difficult finish for Aurora's last points. Robinson knocks in the first free throw. She has 5. Missed an and one earlier. Now has split a couple of tosses and is 2 for 3 as she makes it 32-25. We're 20 seconds from the halfway point of the second. Manzanares trying to get past Robinson and couldn't. It's out to Antoine for a reset. Here's Omen to the free throw line and the kick to Anderson. The ball fake, the baseline take. It's out to Antoine. She wants 3. She gets 3. A dozen for Danny. And a 10-point lead for Aurora. The 3 starting to fall now, and that's a tough situation for Knox. Robinson for the answer, pours it in. Robinson had been 1 for 6 from deep through a couple of games. Antoine on the drive, didn't get it to the rim. Rebound to Smith. 35-28. The Aurora lead. Medina from inside the free throw line. Went off back iron up and through. And a quick 5 for the visitors. Manzanares around the screen of Anderson. She'll leave it to Heinberg. Anderson at the free throw line takes a look. Kicks to Manzanares. She'll try the 3, and it doesn't go. Manzanares still trying to find the range from outside. Medina will try to bring Knox within a possession to Callahan. She's on the wing. Driving, Omen fouled her, and Callahan finishes at the rim. It'll be an and one coming up. Well, Callahan's been limited to just 5 points to this moment. And Aurora's going to need to keep her cooled off. We'll see a couple changes each way. Omen and Anderson will head off. Home debut for Marissa Calamaris. Takes place on the baseline. Riley Doggett's back in for Aurora as well. And then a couple changes for Knox as well as Callahan attempts and converts the three-point play. 35-33, it's a 6-0 run for Knox. Make it an 8-0 run for Knox, actually. It's 2 off. Doggett, glass and good. A little 10-foot bank shot. Yarbrough and Kendall Lade in for her first minute. Smith and Nidez Acuna go to the bench. Here's Robinson on the baseline. No. Manzanares with the rebound, and Antoine will start it up. Hits the brakes. Out to Doggett on the wing. A step fake. She walks to the edge of the free throw circle. Now to Heinberg, who tries to turn the corner. That's not there. She's cut off in the short corner. 10 to shoot. 3:06 left before halftime. Manzanares gets a screen from Calamaris. Doesn't take it. Drives the lane. Didn't get the foul. The miss and the rebound for Knox. Here's Medina. Tries the jumper and rhythm. Missed. Callahan the follow. 2-point game again. 37-35. Medina with 14. That's a game high. Heinberg near side. Walks along the arc. To Antoine for 3 more. No. Rebound batted to the corner. Doggett threw it back in. Medina with the rescue. 1-on-2 as she races down the floor and gets fouled by Manzanares. And that's Christina's second. That's Christina's first. But it is Aurora's 5th team foul. Would have been 2 shots regardless. So Medina will go to the line. Robinson will be replaced by Nidez Acuna. Knox with only 4 players available on the bench, so it's a small roster. But it is a very talented one, and they're within 1 of Aurora. Here with 2:26 left in the second. First free throw from Medina was good. Second free throw also good. And we're all tied. Manzanares fought 3, dished it. Calamaris, line drive, 3-ball good. First shot, first make here at Thornton Gym for Calamaris. And the full court pressure forces a wild turnover. Aurora forces a pass that just got to the corner. Now Antoine, the drive, real tough scoop that didn't go. Medina the rebound, flying down the floor, finishes at the rim. 40-39 Aurora, a minute 42 before halftime. If you like pace, you got it tonight. Pass inside, dog at the finish. Manzanares will get the assist. Callahan, after the press break, fouled at the rim. That's Calamaris, her first. Manzanares will go off for Anderson here with a minute 27 to play. Callahan with 8. Made a free throw earlier. She's 2 of 2 at the stripe now. And Callahan has done just about everything there is to do in the Knox program. Will go down as one of the all-time greats for the Prairie Fire of the whole season in front of her. She'll split the free throws. It's 42-40. Antoine, long deuce, got it. 44-40. And Danny matches her career high here in the first half. Medina, top of the free throw lane, feeds Callahan for 3. And she has a dozen. It's a 1-point game, final minute before halftime. Antoine from where she connected a moment ago. Doggett. She'll take it inside, kicks to the corner. Anderson finds Antoine. She tees up the 3, back iron, no good. And the rebound for Nidez Acuna. Knox hasn't led since early in the first. They'll try it here underneath. Callahan, quick turnaround jumper. And a wild miss. She had more time than she thought she did. And Aurora with a very slight separation between shot and game clock was trying to stall to run out the clock and took a 10-second, or rather a backcourt violation. They did signal a 10-second violation. Either way, it's only Aurora's 4th turnover. Spartans will make a few changes here. They'll have Eklund, Antoine, Heinberg, Anderson, and Calamaris on the floor as Knox will have the final possession and a chance to take the lead into the break. Medina will try to take it right here. Dropped it off across the lane. It bounced around and went off of Aurora out of bounds. So 10.7 ticks. Smith and Robinson replaced Lade and Callahan. It's Callahan being protected with a couple of fouls here. Robinson to get it in and finds Medina. To Nidez Acuna, her pass knocked out of bounds. 7.1 seconds to play in the quarter. Ball is into Yarbrough. 5 seconds. Robinson at the line, tries the leaner. It doesn't go, and Aurora will take the lead into the break. But the narrowest possible lead, 44-43 in an end-to-end first 20 here at Thornton Gymnasium. A lot to unpack. We will bring you the first half totals coming up. This is Aurora University women's basketball with the Spartans up by 1. We're at halftime with Aurora leading Knox in women's basketball 44-43. Our broadcast tonight presented in part by BSN Sports. Wear what the Spartans wear. Visit athletics.aurora.edu/getau gear. By Chick-fil-A in Oswego, eat more chicken. By Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland. By Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus. By Raising Cane's in Oswego, One Love. And by Rush Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Aurora and Yorkville, Fox Valley's premier orthopedic care specialists. Wild one, back and forth in the first 20 minutes here at Thornton Gymnasium. Let's take a look at those halftime totals. Aurora at 43% from the floor in the first half, 4 of 20 from 3. That's 20%, 6 of 9 at the free throw line. Knox was 14 of 30, 47%, 3 of 4 from deep, 12 of 16. Free throw line rebounds pretty even at 22-21 Knox. Aurora, by the way, had a 6-4 edge on the offensive glass. Aurora turned over Knox 11 times, committed only 4 themselves. Aurora 13-2, the edge on points off turnovers, and also a 10-point advantage off the bench. That's how we got to halftime. Aurora up by a point here at the break. Bria Medina leads all players with 16 points. Kylie Callahan at a dozen plus 3 assists. Medina had 3 assists in the first half as well. 9 points for Izzy Robinson. And 6 for Nayeli Nidez-Acuna. That's it for Knox. Aurora spread it around a little bit more, but Danny Antoine has already matched her career high with 14 points. 7 for Kylie Fishback. She was in foul trouble and only played 7 minutes. 5 points for Alina Anderson, plus 5 rebounds, which matches the game high with Carly Smith. 4 points apiece for Christina Manzanares, Riley Doggett, and Aurora Eklund. Jennifer Heinberg and Marissa Calamaris with 3 apiece for the Spartans. We'll go around the NAC in a moment, but let's go over to Naperville first, where Aurora has a 31-28 lead at North Central. Javon Grant leads Aurora with a dozen plus 4 rebounds off the bench for Aurora. And around the NAC we go, where we mentioned that there were a couple that got an early start. Rockford was on the road at Cornell, and Lakeland home to Dubuque. Cornell knocked off Rockford 56-34. Nia Wilkerson, 11.7 rebounds in the loss, and Katie Paradis had 11 points, 11 rebounds for Rockford. They are in overtime, or rather they're going to overtime in Plymouth with Lakeland and Dubuque at 69 apiece. Alexis Johnson, 22.6 steals for the Muskies, and Lauren Johnson with 10 and 10 as they go for bonus basketball. MSOE home to Carthage tonight. And the Raiders have the lead, 32-27 early in the third. Raiders are paced by Lana Curley, who has 11 points to this point in the contest. Concordia, Wisconsin on its home floor tonight against Wisconsin Oshkosh, and it's not going well for the Falcons. 34-15 is the lead at halftime. Andrea Butterbrot leads CUW with 6 points. And the last one tonight, Edgewood at home against Ripon in Madison, and it's all Ripon, 38-19 at halftime. As Ripon has managed 7 points from Taylor Woolen, and she leads every Eagle on the floor to this point. Here, Knox will start with the basketball. They'll move left to right across your screen here in the second half. They're wearing black with gold numbers. Aurora wearing white with blue numbers. Moving right to left here for our final 20 minutes. We're underway in the third. Kylie Callahan with the ball with the Knox starters. Nidez-Acuna, Smith Robinson, and Medina. It's into Nidez-Acuna, who didn't hold on to the ball. Aurora with the takeaway in transition. Fishback shovels out the long pass to Anderson, who cans the baseline 12-footer. Now Anderson immediately makes it a full one possession game after Knox's 12th turnover. Bria Medina out beyond the volleyball line for Knox. Takes a look as Aurora sets up a 2-3 zone defense. Medina finds a soft spot and ties it up. Drains the three from the wing. A minute gone in our first quarter. There's Doggett on the far wing for Aurora, and the pass was out of the reach of Fishback. Aurora turns the ball over for just the 5th time. Our camera operator tonight is Riley DeConey from the AU men's hockey team. Our technical directors are Isaac Perez and Aiden Culpepper, and we're glad to have them here with us on this Wednesday night. It's Callahan at the edge of the volleyball court. Worked inside to Medina. Heaves a pass across the gym to Robinson, who gets just in the lane, goes to her right, was blocked by Anderson. Comes down to Smith, who swings it out. Medina missed the three. Anderson battles and gets the rebound. Anderson's been really tough on the boards today. Antoine drives, has a new career high, and puts Aurora back in front. 16 for the Sandburg High School alum. Was really put it all together tonight. She is 6 of 11 from the floor. Knox looking for an answer. Callahan for three in the lead. Left it short. Couple of bounces on the rim. Anderson waited it out and then starts the transition. Doggett to Fishback to the block. Gives the contact. Robinson wanted the charge. Didn't get it, and Fishback has an easy lay-in. 50-46. Spartans back in front. Kylie with 9. Robinson at the line, leaves it to Callahan, who finds Medina, steps around Fishback, missed the long deuce, out of bounds off of Nidez Acuna. Well, contrast it to Aurora's start to the first quarter where they missed their first 7 shots. They are 3 of 3 to begin the third. Much more crisp. They do have a couple of turnovers, though. Ball fake and a drive. Fishback, no. She bats the rebound out to Medina, who flies down the court, and Antoine wouldn't let her get to the rim. That was a sprint between two of the speedier players on the court tonight, and Antoine won it and sends Medina to the line. That's Danny's first foul. It's Aurora's first foul of the quarter. 19 for Medina, who misses the first free throw. Again, 25 against Aurora a year ago. Can absolutely fill it up. She'll split the free throws here as she gets to 20 with time to spare. It's 50-47. Manzanares with the ball for Aurora. Feeds Doggett in the corner. She stepped on the baseline, and Aurora gives the ball away. Should mention Aurora has its starters on the floor. Antoine, Manzanares, Fishback, Doggett, and Anderson. Medina is over the timeline for Knox. Under 7 to play. She put the ball on the floor. Antoine nearly took it away. Somehow Medina got it out of there. And Nidez Acuna tried to dump it off under the rim. Aurora got the steal. In transition, Manzanares kicks. Antoine now takes it to the rim. She'll deal to Doggett for 3. No. Rebound is live. Anderson tips it to Manzanares. And the sophomore looks for the pick and roll. My goodness, what a pass! And Anderson is underneath. Manzanares just over the head. No look underneath for Anderson. Knox, high post, turned over. Robinson tried to force a pass. Antoine trying to find room. And we'll walk it over to the wing. Gets a screen. Feeds Fishback underneath Anderson. Brilliant ball movement and one! Anderson in the double digits. And a bonus free throw coming up. Nidez Acuna gives Knox his first foul of the quarter. Doggett will come out for Heinberg here. As Aurora now on an 8-1 run to go up 54-47. Anderson is 3 of 4 at the line so far this season. She'll miss the and one. Manzanares gets the rebound. She feeds Antoine, who took a bump from Robinson, and will go to the line for a couple more. We'll see Yarbrough replace Nidez Acuna, who just picked up her third foul. This was not a shooting foul after all, so Aurora takes it from the baseline. Manzanares steps inside. She was off balance and couldn't get it to the rim. It's an Aurora turnover. .540 left in the third. And here's Callahan, step back jumper, not there. Manzanares the rebound. Pushes it forward, Fishback with the ball fake. Goes underneath, her pass was tipped and it found its way to Antoine at the volleyball line. She looks to attack the rim, rolls a pass into the corner. It's shuffled up top to Manzanares. 10 on the shot clock, the crossover for Christina, the spin. Still nothing, finds a cutting Fishback, who finishes at the rim. And Kylie has 11. 56-47. Medina. Oh, wow. Got into the lane, tried to draw the foul, threw it up, and it went. 22 for Medina. Well, Manzanares now with the ball for Aurora at the other end. Antoine got a pick and missed the layup at the rim. Went with the right-handed finish and didn't get the angle right. Medina goes the other way in transition, gets two more. 2 dozen for Medina. He has the last 4 to bring Knox within 4, and Aurora travels, which will bring us to the under 5 timeout. 56-51, Spartans in front in the third, 4:11 remaining. This is Aurora University women's basketball. Aurora with 3 in double digits tonight. Danny Antoine with a team high 16. Kylie Fishback has 11, and Alina Anderson 11 points, 8 boards. The latter's a career high. She's closing in on her first career double-double. Bria Medina, game high 24 for the Prairie Fire. Kylie Callahan has a dozen. It's going to be Knox ball out of the timeout. Was a travel called on Aurora. Aurora Eklund replaced Antoine at the stoppage. Kendall Lade has entered, replacing Carly Smith for Knox. Now Medina came in 36 points away from 1,000, and I thought it would take a lot to put that in play. It's right here. A long pass tipped out of bounds by Aurora. I do want to say, while we have a moment, a big thanks to Rick Bender, the Associate Athletic Director for Communications and Marketing at Knox, who sent a packet of information, which is why I can tell you things like Knox was 5-2 on Wednesdays last season. Tremendously helpful information, so thanks to Rick. Steal Aurora in transition. Manzanares is underneath, steps out from under the basket and knocks it down. Christina now with 6. Aurora up by 7. Medina, almost 2 more. Scoop rolled off the iron. Eklund gets the rebound. Anderson will carry it over the timeline. Fishback for 3, left it short. Out of bounds off of Knox. 3:21 left in the third. Medina, 8 of 15 from the floor, 3 boards, 3 assists to go along with the 24 through the hoop. Yarbrough on the wing is doubled as Aurora moves into a zone. Medina gets into space and missed the 3. Callahan has the rebound. She's doubled in the corner. Now Heinberg will pull off as it's an arced pass to Medina, who drives and leaves it to Callahan, who missed in tight. Out off of Aurora. Well, Kylie Callahan does not miss a lot from there. Is there such a thing as being too wide open? You don't score north of 1,000 points, missing too much from there. Yarbrough long 2 doesn't go. 2:45 left in the third. Aurora up 58-51. They have the rebound, and Manzanares brings it ahead. Heinberg's wide open. Missed the 3, but a moving screen. It's going to be called on Fishback. And that is her 4th. So Kylie will just go right to the bench, and Griswold will replace her. That's just the second foul of the quarter for Aurora. Both teams have a couple still to give in the third. Aurora continuing the zone up here, a 2-3, and a turnover. Yarbrough gave it to Anderson, who runs the floor. Tried to find Manzanares, and that was, I thought, kicked, but I guess it went off of the knee and out off of Knox. The result would have been the same, and Eklund will throw it in. Finds Manzanares. Man defense for Knox. Heinberg gets a screen from Anderson, drives to the rim, left the line drive short. Rebound is thrown to Medina, who feeds Callahan in the baseline. Her pass was gobbled up by Anderson. Another steal. 16th Knox turnover. Heinberg driving and getting to the line. Is that laid? Sure was. Her first, team's third. So Heinberg to the stripe, who was a 94% free throw shooter a year ago, but didn't qualify for the NAC free throw title because she didn't have enough attempts. She makes the first here. She's 2 of 3, and Aurora's back up 8. So make it a full 3-possession game, and she does. 60-51, under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. And here's Medina, who's triple teamed, gets rid of it to Lade. Callahan in the lane, looking for help, finds Lade. Here's the baseline jumper. It's no good. Manzanares has the rebound. Shots haven't been falling for her, but she has 4 boards and 5 dimes. She's at the free throw line, feeds Eklund, who's in the lane. Took some contact. No call, and the shot was short. Rebound Knox. Medina flies ahead, collided with Eklund. There's a lot of contact here, and it's out off of Knox. Now, Ryan Rebson loves the hustle. I'm not sure there weren't at least a couple of Aurora fouls in there. But the Spartans will take it. Oh, they are certainly letting them play tonight. 1:10 to play before the third quarter stoppage. Here's Griswold, the handoff. Heinberg wants three, pours it in. She has 8. Aurora by a dozen as we're into the final minute of the third. Callahan for the three-point answer. Back iron, no good. Eklund gets the rebound and takes it over the timeline herself. 20 seconds, the separation between the shot and game clock. Manzanares didn't get enough on that pass, and Eklund fouls Callahan to prevent a one-on-one run the other way. Aurora's, well, I guess I can't say that. Aurora Eklund's second. Also Aurora's second as it turned. That's their third, actually. Third. It happens to me once a year where I try to use her first name and briefly forget that it's also the name of the school. Final 26 seconds, 7 seconds between shot and game clock. Here is Robinson up top. The give to Medina with 10 to shoot. Medina's on the baseline to Callahan. Fall away jumper, no good. Anderson the rebound. There's 10 seconds before the end of the quarter. Manzanares stops. She's behind the arc. Tries the three. Back iron, no good. And that will do it for the third frame. Aurora in good shape. They've led at the end of every break. And are 10 minutes from a 3-0 start. They lead 63-51. This is Aurora University women's basketball. Our broadcast tonight of Aurora University women's basketball is presented in part by BSN Sports, by Chick-fil-A in Oswego, by Kaufman GMC in Aurora, Elite Management Properties, Raising Cane's in Oswego, and Rush Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Aurora and Yorkville. 63-51 Aurora Spartans. 8 of 15 from the floor in the third. They keep Knox to just 3 of 16. Massive turnover advantage, 17 for Knox, 10 for Aurora. Although Aurora did have 7 giveaways in the third quarter. But they closed on a 7-0 run over the last 4 minutes and 29 seconds. They have the ball to begin the fourth with a 4-possession lead. Danny Antoine, Christina Manzanares, Riley Doggett, Kylie Fishback, and Alina Anderson, the starting 5, are on the floor. Anderson comes over to the corner and knocks in the 3. 14 and 10. Anderson's first career double-double makes it 66-51. Quick give and go to Callahan on the wing. Nidez Acuna will fling it out. 3 ball from Robinson doesn't go. Anderson the rebound, finds Manzanares, who starts the transition. She'll throw it behind Antoine, who spun to the cup, missed. Doggett gets the rebound. Now Manzanares thought 3, gave it up. Doggett has it on the wing. She will put it up, left it short. Bouncing around toward the Aurora bench. Anderson dives in. Love the hustle. She's okay, but it's Knox ball. Antoine, 16 points, leads Aurora. Anderson, of course, the 14 and now 11 boards. And Fishback has 11. Bria Medina currently a dozen points away from 1,000. Might need that many to get Knox back in the game with the Prairie Fire falling apart here a little bit. Post-entry pass way too tall. Aurora by 15 here with under 9 to play in the fourth. Knox looking for some answers. They're in his own defense now. Fishback missed the three well off the line. And Nidez Acuna with the rebound. The pass out for Smith was tipped by Manzanares, but Knox keeps it. They get it down the floor for Callahan, who lost the ball. Rolled it out to Doggett. To Manzanares in transition. She'll get to the rim and missed. Rebound came back to her, and she calmly put it back. 8 points for her. Knox sends it ahead quickly. And Robinson is fouled by Doggett. She's picked up her third foul in the first of the quarter. So a chance here to end a scoreless drought of nearly, and actually now as it resets, more than 6 minutes. A 12-0 run for Aurora to make this a 17-point game. Robinson is 9. She now has 10 as she makes the first free throw. A 22-6 run overall for Aurora since the half. Or more accurately, since very early in the half. Has separated this out. Manzanares for three. Not there. Rebound Anderson, who has a dozen of those tonight. Sends it out to Anderson. Post-entry pass into Anderson, who was stripped by Nidez Acuna. And she'll send the loose ball ahead to Medina, who slices between two defenders and missed. Aurora fortunate there. They send it ahead to Anderson on the long pass. Out to Manzanares, who feeds Doggett. Extra pass, Antoine. She'll put it up. That's no good. Long rebound. Medina tracks it down. 2-on-2. Medina draws the foul from Antoine. It's Danny's second. All right, Ryan Rebsim, to put it kindly, not real pleased with the call. And it puts Medina on the line. 7:35 left. First free throw goes. Next action is in 6 days for Knox over at Benedictine. And I really like Medina's chances of getting to 1,000 points there. Both free throws good here. Knox actually doesn't play a home game until after Thanksgiving. So Medina unlikely to wait that long to get another 12 points based on what we've seen tonight. For that matter, now another 10 after she makes both free throws. Antoine for Aurora gets underneath and draws the foul. Nidez Acuna picks up her fourth. Team's first of the quarter. Both teams have 3 timeouts left. Emily Carpenter has held on to hers. We'll see the sophomore head off for Lade. First free throw good. 17 for Danny tonight. Makes it 69-55. Both tosses good here. Lead back to a full 5 possessions. Aurora continuing to zone Knox here. They force the ball out of Callahan's hands. Emily Carpenter wants a foul and is appealing. It's underneath Manzanares, who managed to get out of trouble, missed in tight, out to Fishback. She'll finish. Manzanares can get out of some difficult situations, if you haven't noticed. Lead is 72-55. Great dish. Callahan feeds Smith underneath. Timeout. Knox. This will be a 30-second timeout, and that will be the fourth quarter media stoppage. All Aurora, but the job not done. It's 72-57. 6.5 plus remaining in the fourth. This is Aurora University women's basketball. 72-57 Aurora. Waning minutes of the fourth. I talked with Coach Rebsum. He really felt like this was the best defensive team he's had. He really felt like what you're seeing tonight is what they were going to be able to do. Knox just 4 of 19 from the field after halftime. Turned the ball over 9 times. They have just 14 points. And Aurora not even shooting the ball that well to begin the fourth. They're 3 of 10. But they've still been able to stretch out a lead. Knox hasn't really been able to dig into it, in part as Aurora's defense has been smothering. Knox, a man defense. Cross-court pass, Doggett pulls up on the baseline, cans the 2. And Riley with 6 on a quiet night, scoring, but has 5 steals. Aurora has been active in that area. Medina on the wing, up and down. That's turnover number 21 for the Prairie Fire. Six to play. Kicked ball on Callahan. So while we have a moment, 4:40 left in Naperville, Aurora leads North Central 58-51. Javon Grant, 17, leads Aurora, and Bryden Grismala has 11 for the Spartans. We'll keep an eye on that. 17 on the shot clock for Aurora. The shot clock hasn't been tested a lot with the pace these teams have played at today. I don't think the horn has gone off once. Fishback with 7. I'll probably get the horn here. Antoine deep 3 with the shot clock running out. Missed. Fishback the follow. And the putback. She has 15. It's a 19-point Aurora lead. Balls to the free throw line for Robinson. She takes it along the lane. And it's out of bounds. You can tell Knox is very frustrated right now. Have not had a lot of room to operate. It's been a physical game. That has benefited Aurora considerably. We are midway through the fourth. Aurora can put it north of 20. Callahan, the foul, that's her 3rd. Team's 2nd. Here is Antoine with 18 points tonight. It's around the arc to Fishback. Swings the pass, Doggett, extra pass, Antoine. 7 to shoot, Antoine's in the lane. Fishback the corner 3, no. Rebound Antoine, right back to the cup. She missed in tight, Anderson follows. 16 and 13 for the Romeoville High School alum. And Aurora by 7 possessions, 78-57, clean steal Manzanares. In transition, missed. Antoine fouled on the follow. 4:21 to play. Aurora by 21, and Antoine, who's 5 of 6 at the line tonight, can have her very first 20-point evening at the Division III level. But a timeout first. And so this will be the media timeout, not the timeout from Knox earlier. And that will give Antoine some time to think about it. So we mentioned a couple of finals already, or I guess more accurately one final. Rockford losing to Cornell tonight 56-34. Lakeland went to overtime with Dubuque, and it went to Dubuque 77-75. Alexis Johnson had 24 to lead all players, and Lauren Johnson, 14 points and 13 rebounds in the loss. For the Muskies, MSOE at home against Carthage tonight. One of 3 games besides ours still going on. Concordia, Wisconsin's home to Wisconsin Oshkosh, and Edgewood playing host to Ripon. And naturally, none of those live stats are cooperating right now. Well, we know that MSOE was leading, and CUW was trailing, and Edgewood was trailing. And that's all I can really tell you right now. That was what was happening. Antoine will miss the first free throw here. She'll get the second. Callahan went to the bench. So did Carly Smith. Nidez Acuna and Yarbrough are back in for Knox, and Manzanares has gone off for Courtney Shook. 3 from the far side for Robinson. The rebound's tied up, and Knox will keep it. .401 left. The deficit probably too much to overcome for Knox. They can score quickly, but an ice-cold second half has been the difference, and Aurora has really forced Knox into a lot of undesirable shots. Yarbrough for 3. She gets that. Her first points tonight, 79-60. Fishback along the arc, stops at the free throw line, had a lane for the runner and didn't get it. Rebound to the floor, Yarbrough off a tap pulls it out, and in transition, Antoine with the steal to the hole. 21 for Danny in Aurora's home opener. Another steal. Fishback all alone to the rim. 17 for Kylie. That's 83-60. 3 minutes left. Knox with 24 turnovers tonight. Corner 3, Nidez Acuna. That falls and she has 9. Shook for 3. She gets that. First shot attempt for Shook tonight. Knocks it in from 3. Medina misses at the other end. She'll come up 10 points short of 1,000, and we'll have a chance to get it in 6 days. Anderson, 12-footer didn't go. Rebound Knox, 2:11 left. Robinson backs in, missed in tight. Follow doesn't go either. Anderson is the rebound. She has 14 boards tonight, and Aurora will take timeout to get in substitutions. There's Paulina Geierhalter, the junior from Munich, Germany, in for her first minutes. Eklund, Omen, and Griswold will join Shook on the floor. And that will do it for Aurora's starting 5 tonight. Antoine, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals in 31 minutes. Christina Manzanares, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists in 31 minutes. Kylie Fishback, 17 points, 4 boards in foul trouble minutes. Here's a 3 from Shook, no good. Eklund gets the board, into the lane, gets to the line. Riley Dahl gets 6 points, but 5 steals. And Alina Anderson with career highs of 16 points, 14 boards, and added 4 steals for good measure. Not a career high, but what a night. Jennifer Heinberg has 8 points. Probably won't see her again tonight. canned a couple of threes. Now Eklund at the line, who has 4 points. A couple at the line, misses the first with 1:44 left. 86-63. Any score at the moment. Second toss from Eklund is good. Aurora 44% from the floor tonight, and a comfortable win despite shooting just 21% from outside. 11 of 16 at the line at the moment. Three from Medina is short. Rebound thrown back in, and Omen will have it. Medina knocks that out of bounds. Rebounds are 47-38 for Aurora, including a 17-9 advantage on the offensive glass. Turnover margin was plus 13 for Aurora. They turn over the Prairie Fire 24 times. Aurora outscores Knox 19-3 off the bench, 20-12 off fast breaks, and 35-2 off turnovers. 35-2 off turnovers with 1:15 left. Omen on the perimeter to Eklund. Drop off Griswold, and Liz has her first points tonight. Eklund with the assist. Final minute. Medina leads Knox with 26 points on 8 of 20 from the field, 9 of 10 at the line. Laid underneath, that's good. Kylie Callahan, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Izzy Robinson, 11 points, 6 rebounds. 9 points for Nayeli Nadez Acuna, plus 5 rebounds. 3 points for Zaya Yarbrough, a couple for Carly Smith, and now a couple for Kendall Lade. 15 to shoot, 30 seconds left. Omen driving, lost the ball. It'll be Aurora's 12th turnover. We'll see the freshman Lucy Lawrence enter for Knox here for the final possession. A moment ago, Emma Saneeth also checked in for the first time. 89-65. One last Knox turnover. Pass out of the reach of Saneeth. 21 seconds left. Aurora doesn't have to take a shot. See if they run offense with second unit on the floor, and it does not appear that they will. Impressive win for Aurora. Knox just 7 of 28, 25% after halftime. And Aurora, who averaged 93 coming in per game, will see that go down, but not very much. Another very impressive offensive display, a very impressive defensive display again. 89-65, Aurora with the victory tonight. Spartans back in action Monday afternoon, a 3 o'clock start. It's a very good Colorado College team makes the trip here to Thornton Gymnasium. We hope we'll see you there. Again, Knox is in action on November 18th, next Tuesday at Benedictine for a 7 o'clock start. Spartans gather on the logo to celebrate a 24-point win tonight. 89-65 is the final over Knox. Riley DeConey was our camera operator. Isaac Perez, Aiden Culpepper, our technical directors. Thanks to AU Athletic Communications and Facilities and all of their team members for their hard work tonight. My name is Sean Fry. We will see you on Monday for more Aurora University women's basketball. The Spartans are 3-0 after tonight's win over the Prairie Fire. Have a great night.